Oh my gosh. So, this is a quick grammar refresher. I took a look at quite a few people's work from the last couple days and noticed a lot of the same problems, a lot of the same mistakes that people are making on the grammar. So I'm going to walk you through this step by step and refer back to the models from Monday's page/lesson to try to let you look at the patterns and see how we need to do these questions. So, step one, problem number one that I'm finding is that people are deleting some of the text. Instead of copying the whole thing over and finding a way to punctuate it, they're just being like, I'm going to pick and choose which words I want. That's not the assignment. The assignment is put all the words in there and add punctuation, occasionally change capitalization to make it work. So, once we got the entire thing in the right space, we have to decide what's being said out loud. The part that's being said out loud is, I asked the same question twice, and I got two different answers. Okay, it's a compound sentence. There's a dialogue tag in the middle of she said. So we got to put quotes around the stuff that's being said. I put it before I asked the same question twice, and around, and I got two different answers. Now, we've got the quotation marks in the right place, but we need to put punctuation in other places. Well, we've got end punctuation here for the end of the sentence. That's great. What about right here? What do we do in this space? I asked the same question twice, something. Let's look onto this other page. That's not it. It's here. There we go. There we go. Grammar focus instructions. This is from Monday. She said, comma, that's not a good example. This is a good one. Use a comma when a dialogue tag follows a quote. Let go of your fears, comma, end quotations, he replied. Why the comma and not a period there? Well, we haven't ended the full sentence. We haven't. We're just taking a pause in it. If this were here on its own, yeah, this would be a period, but it's not on its own. It's a piece of dialogue. So we're going to put a comma there. We end the quotation. Do we need to end the sentence here? Well, if this didn't exist, then yes, but it does exist, and it's part of the overall sentence that's being said aloud. So we're going to put another comma there. Ask the same question twice, comma, end quotation. She said, comma, begin quotation, and I got two different answers, period, end quotation. Why didn't I capitalize this? Well, it's part of a larger sentence. If you had written it without the dialogue tag, you wouldn't have capitalized the and so you won't in this case either. Let's look at question 2 on this same one. Look at that, Amy said, a light is flashing at sea. Okay. Well, look at that. Is the first thing that's being said aloud. A light is flashing at sea is the second thing being said. Amy said is the dialogue tag. So now we've got the quotations in the right places. What do we do with this middle stuff? Well, let's go back to our good friend. Right from your heart, comma, end quotation, she stated, period. Why is there a period here? Well, for this example, it's because what happens after the period is its own sentence. All right, is that what's happening here? Look at that, comma, Amy said, period. A light is flashing at sea, period. Yeah, now we got it right, because this right here, a light is flashing at sea, is its own sentence. So that is why we keep the A capitalized. That's why this isn't a comma. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky, I'll be honest. Please notice, we're never adding like extra punctuation after the quotation marks for anything that we're doing here today. All right, let's look at Wednesday's work. Josie said, that's the beautiful weaving. We can do this one. Josie said's your dialogue tag. We're kicking off with that. That's a beautiful weaving is what goes in the quotation marks. How do we punctuate this bad boy? Well, let's take a look at the example. She said, comma, it's all in the details. It's the same pattern that we have for this one. She said, comma, begin quotation, it's all in the details. Okay. she said, comma, begin quotation, that's a beautiful weaving. Because this is a sentence starting here, this needs to be capitalized, that's. And weaving is the end of the sentence, there's a period. That one's pretty simple. Let's follow the pattern on this one. I made it myself, Emma replied. Okay? What's being said out loud? I made it myself. Bingo. Emma replied, there's already a period at the end, so that's good. Do we need to capitalize the I? Always! That word always gets capitalized on its own. I made it myself. Emma. Emma gets capitalized because it's a proper noun. It's a name. We always capitalize names. What about this space? I made it myself. Emma replied. It's the same as let go of your fears. He replied, comma, period, in those two places. So put the comma in. Here's the key, folks. We've got to follow the patterns. Follow those patterns. As you look at Thursday's work and as you look at the quiz on Friday, it's really important that you think about what are my patterns and can I follow them? When you take Friday's quiz, please understand you have resources at your disposal. You can open this other window up and look at all of the examples and just follow them. And if you're following them, you're bound to get most of them right. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope this kind of straightens out a couple things. And if it doesn't, I can say jump on Teams and we'll talk about it, but you probably won't do that. So please, please, please use the resources at your disposal. Use them. Use them. It's going to make your writing look better. It's going to make you sound smarter. It's going to make people believe that you know what you're talking about more often when you can use punctuation correctly. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.